Hi guys, give me 1 second to play my intro. Sorry, I should have this ready for you guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm sorry?
Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Lindsay, the Housewife Historian, and today is Tuesday, and Tuesdays are the Real Housewives of New Jersey day. So buckle up guys. We have more to talk about the ladies of New Jersey that you haven't heard yet, which is crazy because the New Jersey ladies, all of this gossip, all of this tea between Teresa and Melissa and Joe, Jacqueline, Jennifer, Dolores, like it's been in the press for a while and we keep getting more. So we have a blind item and then we also have an anonymous item coming out of New Jersey as it pertains to the housewives. And then I want to maybe talk just a second about Kelly Dodd calling into Up and Adam over Teresa and Melissa's podcast. So before we get into all that, guys, though, make sure you hit the like button. It really makes a difference with my videos. Subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. It's super important. And let's go ahead and get started. We can start with the blind item. I know everyone loves blind items. I'm not quite sure where it's at. Is it I didn't update my Instagram. I'm sorry, guys. There was a new blind item posted yesterday, so I did post it onto my Instagram. If you follow me, the Housewife Historian, then you would see that. Here we go, guys. So the blind item reads as follows. If at first you don't succeed, then try again. That is what this former housewife is doing with her new PR campaign to have her barely there celebrity offspring paired with a famous guy. No one ever really bought the A-list actor hookup. Let me read it again for you guys. It says, if at first you don't succeed, try again. That is what this former housewife is doing with her new PR campaign to have her barely there celebrity offspring paired with a famous guy. No one ever really bought the A-list actor hookup. Do you guys want to know who people think it is? A lot of people think it's Yolanda. A lot of people. Lisa or Yolanda. Yolanda, Gigi, and Leo. Oh, are they talking about Leonardo DiCaprio? He's the old man actor. He starred in the Titanic. Hold on, Rihanna's recycle bin on Instagram. These people kill me. This is hilarious. She said Leonardo DiCaprio, the old man actor. He starred in the Titanic and only dates women very young. His current girlfriend is 19. Gigi dated him. I didn't know that I was like so old that we would have to explain like there was a movie about the Titanic and Leonardo DiCaprio was the star of it. That was like a big deal. Do you guys remember that? And they showed Kate Winslet topless and he like sketched her. Everyone, always talked about that scene. But anyways, allegedly, and then some people are saying Renna. They're saying like basically she could be pairing her offspring, with famous people too, because she did it with Scott Disick, if you guys remember. And I think that, I don't know, I feel bad for her daughters because I do feel like they picked up, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we're not even going to be talking about that anymore because Renna's not even going to be on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So we won't have to talk much about that. Sorry about my banner. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Another person, Trixie McBimbo, said, Lisa, and who is the guy for Delilah Gray? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure that somebody, maybe we've missed a headline. Oh my gosh. Miss Medic 534 said, who is Renna selling her kids to today? Oh my gosh. Oh, the shade. And another one, Lisa Renna and her daughters. Katie Annie said Kim Zolciak, and I too, for some reason, Kim Zolciak was the first person that came to my mind. And I don't know if because allegedly she's going to be going through a foreclosure. Um, it's been in the headlines that the mansion is going to be foreclosed on, and she came out on her Instagram and said like, my house isn't getting foreclosed on, like I'll move when I damn well please, yada yada yada. And now we're finding out that it's still allegedly going to be going into foreclosure. So pretty crazy. I think they bought the house for like $800,000, under a million, and it's on a golf course, and they've done a lot to it. And I think it's worth like 3.5. I'm not sure. I think Make It Make Sense did a whole breakdown on it. So we have the blind item again, guys. Make sure you comment. Let me know who you think it is. So then we have an anonymous posting. This post came from the Drunk and the Restless on Twitter. Okay, that's who shared it, and I saw it. It looks like it is a DM actually, on Instagram. And it says, I had one of the housewives of New Jersey come into our store and put lots of stuff up on the counter to buy. And when they finished, the husband asked, how are we going to pay for this? The wife then asked me, well, could we pay or could we mention you on Instagram? And the lady said, I said cash or card. So let me read this again. This person is alleging that she's a store owner in New Jersey and that one of the current New Jersey housewives came into the store, was shopping, put a ton of stuff on the counter, and when it was time to check out, her husband said to her, how the F are we going to pay for this stuff? Because we don't have the money. And so then the housewife looked at her and said, well, we could pay or we could mention you in an ad. Sorry about that. Now my face is super duper closed. Why does that happen after I have a phone call that comes through? I hate that. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. The store owner basically said cash or card. They didn't want to be mentioned on Instagram. So that's probably why they kept it anonymous, because a lot of people were like, well, just say who you are. Like, you'll get a lot of attention. If you do, and the person's like, yeah, but I wanted to be paid. I don't really want to be on Instagram, I guess. I want to know who you guys think that is. I know I have my theories, because there are certain housewives that seem to do a lot of Instagram ads for services rendered. Okay, we know Melissa for sure because when she moved, I think I even know who the moving company is. I saw so many posts about the effing moving company. I think at one point she did like a whole spread. She was like spread out on the boxes, rooting for her moving company and paying for their move via Instagram ads. I don't like necessarily, I don't mind, I guess, that, but I really hate when like Tamara and them try to sell us like the wand, the hair dryer and hot air brush all in one, or like a make a derma brush face. Before COVID, that was a really common thing for the housewives. Well, not all of them, like the ones that were out there hustling, no offense. I do feel like Melissa was one that you could steady go on her Instagram and you were going to find her selling you something, which is fine, whatever. But I'm just saying, I don't personally care for that. But after COVID hit, it seems like for some reason, I don't know if the sponsorship isn't there like it used to be, whatever the case may be. The ladies don't do it as often. Now, what we do know is that Melissa used to bring her family around for filming. Sorry, you guys, my hair is like uneven. It's driving me crazy. And it's like opposite when you film. So it's like, we know that when Melissa started filming, she originally would bring her family around, like her sister and her mom, and they would film with her. And eventually Bravo had to put an end to it. They were like, you can't bring your family around anymore. And some of the reasons listed were they were like taking endorsement deals as a sister to a Real Housewife, and allegedly also leaking storylines. Yes, I said leaking storylines. So I don't know. It could be any of them. I don't really see. I could be wrong. Let's check Rachel Field. I don't feel like Rachel does a lot of ads. I do feel like she did a good job of like trying to keep the storyline going, like going between the ladies and trying to like ask the right questions and just kind of push things along, right? Because the Dolores Jennifer fight was lasted like half of the episode, right? I mean, for me it did. So I do feel like she did a good job. She did a decent job of pushing that along. I don't see her posting a lot of sales on her Instagram, to be honest. I just don't. I don't think that's something she's like into. It looks like it's mostly just family and travel. And it does look like she's elevated her Instagram. She's updated her profile picture, which looks very professional. She has professional photos of the family, a lot of them posted, travel. She has a good looking Instagram, I think. And she has some like at home cute stuff too. So um definitely elevated though. You got to have an elevated Instagram if you want to be a housewife. It's just partly how it goes. That's why there's a competition about who has more followers. Remember, guys, like when Teresa and Ramona got into it about who had more followers? Crazy, right? Okay, so that was our blind item, and then the anonymous one of the store owner and allegedly the housewife coming in. Now, we also had Kelly Dodd call into Up and Adam. Now, Kelly Dodd blocked me a couple of years ago. I don't, and I need to put it on Do Not Disturb. Um, and I lose my train of thought when that happens. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyways, so we have the two blind items, the store and the blind item, correct? And we basically the guesses on the blind item were pretty much narrowed down to Lisa Renna and Yolanda. And then from the other one for the housewives, a lot of people really, they kind of went back and forth with who they thought it could be. Um, a lot of people, and some people try to say it was Teresa. I don't think it was Teresa because of the fact I don't think that there's anything wrong with hustling, and I don't think that Teresa doesn't not hustle. I just think that she has this was like amateur to go to a store, have the store owner there, grab a whole shit ton of merchandise, put it on the counter, have your husband have no idea how you're about to pay for this stuff, and then be like, oh, well, I could put you in an ad. Like, I didn't think about making a sponsorship with you ahead of time. Like, I'm interested in your store and I like your clothes and I'm a housewife. I'll wear them on the show, whatever the case may be. Um, and I don't know if that's something that's really should be set up ahead of time, right, guys? I mean, set it up ahead of time. That's amateur to go in there and do that. So, not saying that Teresa couldn't get, um, a deal or couldn't, need to. Teresa has money, guys. She's making millions of dollars. They did a three-part wedding series, plus her salary, plus all of her press, NFL concert. The whole family is getting a check. Gia's getting a check. Louis getting a check. Teresa's getting a check. I mean, she's making good money. Let's be, and there's nothing wrong with being frugal. And I love a deal, right? I love, love, love a deal. And I don't think there's anything wrong with like endorsing something if you want to and you have a good following and you want to get paid. However you guys work it out. But do it over the phone. Don't or email or DM or something. Don't wait till you go in the store and do it. It's just not there. So anyways, guys, and then we had the issue with Kelly Dodd. That's what I was talking about. Kelly Dodd blocked me a long, long time ago. I don't even know what I said. I think it was like during Real Housewives of Orange County when Kelly and Tamara were fighting really bad. And I said something that made her mad and she blocked me. And I've asked Rick in the comments before very nicely to please ask her to unblock me, but she doesn't. And maybe he doesn't ask. And they have like the Kelly and Rick following anyway. So I guess it doesn't really matter if I still obviously can see your content. Anyways, on the Rick and Kelly show, she like was like mad about Melissa Feaster and Teresa's podcast Namaste Bitches because she was mad that they were you know, I don't know what they said. It was something about Brandy, for God's sake. And so it was a couple of episodes ago, if I'm remembering correctly. So it must have just made its way to Kelly. The conversation leaned a little bit more in like Brandy's favor, I think, because I don't know if Brandy was on the show. Did Brandy go on their podcast? Anyways, it started. This is so crazy. It started because Brandy canceled on Kelly Dodd for the podcast. Let me see if she was on it on this day. Bitches podcast. So Kelly got mad about that. She says that she cancels the same day and says it was a family emergency. So then Kelly goes on Teresa and Melissa Feaster's. I think she goes on their podcast. And she says, she goes on some podcast or she says it on her own show. And she says that Brandy canceled on her same day. Like, basically, that's so unprofessional. And that, you know, it was because of a family emergency. And allegedly that made Brandy mad. I think that it was Brandy that was on their podcast. I can't find it for sure, though. If I could see the Namaste list, but I don't have my Apple podcast in front of me because it's on my phone, of course. Anyways, regardless, Brandy said she, you know, was mad that Kelly did that and she felt like her and Kelly were friends and yada, yada, yada. And somehow something was said that made Kelly mad and she retaliated on her and Rick's page, right? And then I don't know if it was addressed by somebody or people were just seeing it and they were commenting about it because Kelly ends up calling into Hot Topics to the Up and Adam channel to talk for a second. And I want you guys to take a listen. She's not bashing Teresa at all. She actually says she really likes Teresa. Teresa's lovely. And she said Teresa would have invited me to her wedding, but I made a meme about Louis that made her mad. I didn't even say anything about Louis. I made a meme about him that made her mad, and that's why I wasn't invited to the wedding. And I kind of thought about that for a second. I thought, I don't believe that because I think that Louis and Teresa had an obligation to invite certain Bravo guests because it was a Bravo event, like sponsored sort of. I think that there were people, maybe they didn't say you have to invite these people, but they said, like, here's who we're suggesting on our end. Like, there's Louis' guest, Teresa's guest, and then Teresa and Bravo's guest. Okay. I don't think Kelly would have been invited because of the fact that it was a Bravo event. I heard rumors about Nene because maybe she potentially was on the list to be invited, but couldn't go. Maybe production and Bravo execs didn't want them there. It's a possibility because, again, they were helping to sponsor and put on this 3-part series. They're cutting paychecks. They're signing checks to everyone. They probably feel entitled to have somewhat of a say on who they want to there and who they don't. And they probably don't even admit it. They probably do it on the low. But anyways, so I don't really think that Kelly would have actually been invited, probably. That's just my opinion. And it looks like I lost it, but I had it ready for you guys. Darn it. I'll get it ready again for you. Dang. Anyways, Up and Adam has a Hot Messy Topics panel. I'm not sure how often. I think pretty often they do lives and have after parties. So I'm not always up to speed with everything. That all the channels post because I try to support everyone, make it make sense. Dana Wilkie, I listen to everyone when I get a chance. I try to go on and like and comment and show some support. So this one is definitely going to be under the Hot Messy Topics. And again, she doesn't say anything bad about Teresa. She says that about the wedding. She's upset with Melissa Feaster for some reason, but I don't think Melissa Feaster said anything bad. I'm just saying, I don't think that she did. Okay, it's perfect heart.
Jason, I will move on to my next topic. Let's see. Awesome. Not yet.
It takes her a second because she's driving to the desert with Rick. Rick also calls in.
Not yet.
I'm not going to give you guys that part. Okay. And then she has a hard time calling in.
What a douche. Who's the douche?
So this is Up and Adam, Beautiful Mistakes.
That's what I was telling
Hot Messy Topics.
Coach Shaylee about it.
And it's
about
from
filming
one
the
day
jokes, and
ago.
kids are like, surprise. Okay, I know. Hey,
Here we go.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go. Here we go.
I think we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm driving. I have driving out to the desert.
Oh. We were curious because we were talking about you, because we were talking about this whole Melissa Feaster comment. And then I said to Jason, I said, let me just text Kelly right now since we're on.
Okay, what was the comment?
It was the comment that you made about we were wondering.
Oh, why?
Yeah, why that happened.
Yes.
She was, so I get a bunch of text messages that she was on, her and Teresa were on a podcast together, and they're like, you have to listen to it. And they were saying that she was slamming me and like she was coming after me. So I'm like, okay, fine. I will listen to their podcast. So I listened to it, and she was talking about Brandy and how I'm not on a show, that all I do is talk bad about people, and I just talk shit. And she said that I don't even know Brandy, and I'm not on a show with her. And she said that I said that Brandy's a bad mom, and just went after me. And first of all, that Melissa Feaster, I don't even know who she is. I don't know why she would even talk about it. I never met her. Brandy and I were really good friends. She stayed the night over at my house. I hung out with her over a dozen times. I've went to Laker games with her, talked on the phone. I was supposed to do a podcast with Brandy. And
remember that.
Brandy,
Yeah.
some cryptic message that she was going to be on the house with. Then she canceled on me, and I have it all laid out of exactly what she said. She went on 2 T's in a pod and lied. And then I showed her exactly, she said that I was talking about her kids, and I never spoke about her kid. I went back to the vault. She completely lied. And this, I don't know her name, Melissa Feister, I don't know her name. Fester.
No,
I don't know.
Feaster.
I don't even know who she is, talking about me. And I went to go listen to her thing, and then Teresa said that I said something bad about Louis, which I never did. I just did a meme of Louis, never even spoke bad about Louis. And so that Melissa just went off on me, and so I popped off right back off at her because she doesn't know anything about me and Brandy's relationship. I don't even think it was ridiculous.
But we don't
Right.
dislike Teresa.
Huh?
But we don't dislike Teresa.
No, Teresa and I are friends. She was going to invite me to her wedding, but I did that meme of
friends, though.
Louis.
And she got pissed off at me, so she didn't invite me.
Are
But
you also
know,
friends with Melissa Gorga?
I was never friends with Melissa Gorga. Never. She was so snobby to me. Her husband's a gem, but I've met Melissa Gorga probably over a dozen times over the years. She was always such a snooty bitch. My husband was, and we were in Vegas together with Joe and her. And Rick, did you think she was snobby?
Yeah, she had attitude.
She had attitude. Joe was so nice. He bought me a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Sweet as can be. Every time I'm around that lady, she's a snob. The biggest snob I've ever met. Yeah. Not nice.
And Teresa's not snobby?
No. Not at
No.
all.
She wasn't snobby at BravoCon either.
No, she's not. That chick is the real deal. She's great.
All right. Well, Kelly, we know that you're on your way to the.
So here's a couple of things I want to point out. I didn't want to tell anyone in advance what Kelly Dodd was saying. I put it in the title, but everyone, accuses people of being Melissa haters. Like, we're not Melissa haters. I've been saying that Melissa is very, people have compared her to her thinking she's J-Lo when she's in public. Okay. The guy that was on her podcast, he was hairdresser to the stars. She didn't know it. He was in an elevator. He completely snubbed her. He was on Teddy Mellencamp's podcast, spoke about it, and then Melissa reached out to him, made right with him, and then had him come on her podcast to basically make it seem like she wasn't a snooty bitch. But Kelly has never wavered in her saying that Melissa is very snobby. She acts like she's better than people. Like she said, Joe Gorga, a gem, bought her a coffee, super friendly, down to earth. But Kelly has been in many events with Melissa over the years. And so I feel like that's the truth. I've heard that too many times, do it not to be the truth. And then also, let's talk about how she says Teresa's the real deal. Like, you can hear a lot of respect in Kelly's voice for Teresa. And I think a lot of the other housewives, they have a lot of respect for Teresa Giudice within the Bravo community, within the Bravo family, because they know she's an OG. Anyone that has filmed that long or anyone that's been a housewife and knows what it's like, they have respect for someone who's done 13 seasons and started a franchise and is still on top doing a 3-part wedding series 13 years later. Guys, that's an incredible run. If Teresa said goodbye right now, she would still be like one of the top housewives. The only other person I think that can even compare would be Nene Leakes. And she's been gone from Bravo so long, it doesn't even feel like we can make her an option because we don't ever see her. We don't see her at BravoCon. We don't see her on Watch What Happens Live. Like, we don't see her. So it kind of bumps Teresa up closer to the number 1 spot, right? So I feel like you can really hear the respect that probably is, like I said, all around the Bravo community between all of the housewives that they have for Teresa. That's why the housewife from Dubai, Margaret, did a podcast and said, like anyone could have been invited to Teresa's wedding, something like that. And even the housewife from Dubai got invited. She was only in America for a couple of days. And I was like, how rude is that? That Teresa was gracious and kind and did not know this housewife, but knew that she was part of the Bravo community, part of the Bravo family. The woman knew Jennifer, right? And she was like, yeah, we'll make room for you. Absolutely. You're here with Jennifer, and Jennifer and her husband are going. Like, we would love to have you. And she was so touched by Teresa, so touched that she went without, she wasn't even dressed. She wasn't even she was not even styled, really, I don't think. Find it for you. It's like, I can never remember her name and I don't want to say it wrong. I know you guys already know. Chanel, is it Chanel? I can never say her name right. Yeah, Chanel Aiden. She was the one that she was last minute, they said. But they, like I said, they made room for her, and she was part of the Bravo community. And even though she was part of the Bravo community, you know, Dubai is typically a new franchise. And you guys know what it's like to be the new girl. You guys know what it's like to be low on the totem pole. And I'm not saying that Dubai is not amazing. It's not going to star, it's not going to shine, or that she's not an amazing housewife. I'm just saying that she hasn't been there long enough to have the sort of rapport that one would expect if you were going to invite someone to the wedding. But she took Jennifer co-signed for her. So if you have a good friend and you trust their judgment and they co-sign for their other friend, all right, bring them. We'll make room for them. No problem. It's not even a big deal. I'll text somebody right now and make it happen. So I don't think we should fault Teresa for that. I think we should actually like applaud her for keeping it within the family, right? All right, guys, that's what I have for today. A lot of blind items, a lot of questions. Make sure you guys comment. And then, of course, check out my Instagram at The Housewife Historian, Twitter, The Housewife Historian 1, and then, of course, TikTok. All right, guys, have a great day.